I'm back, I'm Gertie Roo, back again, a Wednesday mood. Well, here I am, it's Wednesday, and I thought I'd come on and do this. Cruel Meghan is trying to hijack Diana's legacy with rosé wine release on the late princess's birthday. Is this tenuous, or is it a thing? I haven't watched it. Shall we investigate? I'm sorry if you can hear my fan, but without it I will expire, as I keep saying.
Meghan Markle has introduced a 2023 rosé from Napa Valley under her rebranded lifestyle label As Ever, a move that officially marks her entry into the alcohol industry.
Oh, no.
But this isn't just another product.
Look at all this bleeding hooey. Load of old bleeding hooey. And she's got a feet. Please, you know about me and my feet thing. This is not right. This is just de rigueur. So, why are we treated to a picture of her feet? And what has that got to do with apricot spread? Do you notice she's called it spread? Say no more. Spread is a thing with Meghan.
The rollout follows a string of missteps tied to her past ventures, from podcasting.
Oh, that's because she used to like that bleeding wine, isn't it? Something that she called her Tig after. So she's calling her wine As Ever. I call it As If. I bet it's about 3%. What do you reckon?
That fizzled to branding pivots that confused even loyal followers. American Riviera Orchard came and went without clarity, and now As Ever appears to be the latest attempt to stake a claim in the oversaturated lifestyle market.
She's literally selling pancake mix, so she's calling it crepes. But basically, what is that? It's just egg and milk with some water, isn't it? Isn't it? It's just ridiculous. Egg and milk. Sugar, maybe. Depends. And you need a mix for that. If you buy that, then, well, you deserve a fool in their money, isn't it?
Still, this launch has struck a very specific nerve.
Yeah.
Not just because of what
bit of flour,
product is,
bit of milk,
but because when it was released, July 1st, Princess Diana's birthday, a source close to the royal household told me it's not lost on Prince William that Meghan has launched an alcohol brand on his...
Why that day? When's her birthday? When was her birthday? Trying to hijack late on Princess's birthday. She was a Cancerian, wasn't she? I thought she'd had her birthday. She wasn't a Leo. She died on the 31st of August, didn't she? So where are we with her birthday, chaps? Do you know when her birthday was? Because I can't remember. I always thought she was a Cancerian. But I may be wrong, darlings. I may be wrong. There we go.
Mother's birthday, the very mum he lost in a drink-driving tragedy. Oh. But I asked if there was anger at Meghan for using Diana's birthday to promote her commercial products. My source replied, it's what he's come to expect from her. He doesn't think much of her. They added, Dave, William and Catherine, been quite good at ignoring the Sussexes, but anything to do with his mother is still a tender spot.
Yeah, because they have, especially her more so, a sort of hijacked Diana for themselves, haven't they? Like they've got pictures of her, and we were treated to her showing, was it Archie, pictures of Granny Diana? It's just... Wasn't that, along with crocodile, one of his first words or phrases? And then the whole unseemly business with the funeral when she went to the island and she laid down on the grave or something. She wanted to get clarity. The woman's dead, love. Grow up, bleeding idiot. Anyway, she thinks, even despite the fact she was born probably about 15 when Diana died. I know, don't have a go at me, I reckon. And... if not older. Probably older than 15, actually. And, but she's the reincarnation of her somehow. Somehow a spirit just wafted over to America and went into Meghan. So we're treated to that. She is, in fact, an icon, a spiritual leader of the Diana, fan club, I suppose. But it's not happening, is it? Because she's nothing like Diana. But there you go. Come on, kids.
To launch an alcohol brand on Diana's birthday, it felt to him pointed, or at the very least, shockingly tone-deaf. Privately, there is hope within the family that Harry and Meghan will eventually thrive in the business world. Not out of affection, but out of strategy.
Not out of that load of old nonsense, they won't. If anything, it's a sort of like a vanity thing, but it's also like a one-off. People get it just to see what it's like. I told you yesterday how Gordon Ramsay said that the jam tasted like mouthwash. I love it. I haven't seen it, but apparently it's on TikTok, but I haven't found it.
Thinking goes, if they're secure and financially stable,
he spat it
maybe the public criticism towards the journalists and media outbursts will subside.
It's me. Oh, at this stage I'm pretending I'm 38, but at this stage I was 44. There you go. Well, 43, maybe 42. Anyway, she's one of these. I knew somebody who was 28 for about like 10 years or something, you know. She's one of them, isn't she? Oh, look at me. I'm luscious and gorgeous. Look at me. I'm gorgeous. I'm baggy. Look, a cat that's got the cream. Oh, but she's got the cream, all right.
Timing an alcohol launch to Diana's
birthday, I think the cream's gone off.
Wasn't just a misstep. It was borderline cruel. You have to sit and think, what is Prince Harry thinking at home today? As Meghan is doing victory laps around the kitchen, excited for this launch, Harry is still thinking about the mother he lost, the mother that he loved, the mother that he talks to.
Anyway, that's enough about Barry. Like, literally, she doesn't care about Barry. She can see a potential bandwagon, and it's passing, and she's going to leap on it with her rosé bleeding wine that she's probably cheap rosé from your average, probably Walmart. She's bought up a job lot. She's going to stick her fancy labels on it and charge like 5 times the amount. Do you know what I mean? It's probably like I don't know what $1 is in our money, but say like it's £5 in our money, yeah, she'll probably charge about 20 odd quid, won't she? 30 if she can get away with it. And then you've got to factor in shipping, and that's if you get it. And then by the time it gets to Britain, well, I don't think she's doing it for the English market, to be honest. Thank God we're exempt.
About constantly.
Yes.
This is still a tough day for Prince Harry too.
Well,
let's be honest, Meghan has spent years framing herself as the spiritual successor to Diana.
It's me with me funny boobalicious tops that I always manage to wear. We all know, if you go on my back catalogue, she pinched that dress from me, and I never got it back, by the way. Mind you, I don't want it back, to be honest. I don't think it would fit me. You've seen how svelte I am. And you've seen the mark, haven't you? She probably ruined it. Seems probably fit to burst. Yeah, she can keep it.
Anna,
and I ain't putting too fine a point on it, but I'd fill out the top bit, love. I really would. Hello!
Comparisons, leaning into legacy, and positioning herself and her personal brand around compassion, healing, and purpose. Actions speak louder than words. But just to that point, I'm just remembering this as well. I was once told by a royal family source that Beatrice, I believe this was at the Queen's Platinum Jubilee, overheard Meghan tell Prince Harry that Diana spoke to her during her yoga session that morning. I mean, that's the extent.
Yes, I remember that. That happened. Well, I mean, I wasn't there. But do you remember that happened on the Jubilee when they come over and she was supposed to get on the bus with everybody else but pretended they were late and then turned up in a bulletproof car with blacked out windows because they were scared about the security, rather than get on the bus like everybody else and go to St Paul's. I'm sure it was St Paul's, or it might have been going from St Paul's to Buckingham Palace, don't know, don't care, can't remember. And everyone booed them, do you remember? Anyway, on the way up to Buckingham Palace, it must have been the Jubilee. It wasn't the funeral. No, it's definitely the Jubilee. She only bloody wound the window down so everyone could see the Markalicious. Hey, I was scared of security, I need a bulletproof car, I'm not going on the bus with all the hoi polloi. And when we say hoi polloi, we mean like Beatrice, people like that actually. So, and Zara and the Tyndall family. Oh, here I am again. I'm just about to do something pornographic with this phallic symbol.
I feel like Meghan has hijacked or attempted to hijack this woman's legacy to the point where Meghan is so important that Diana is speaking to her from the other side of the yoga mat. So to claim ignorance here doesn't hold up. It wasn't just insensitive.
She just came out with a load of... like I've said before, I'm sure emotionally the Arrested Development is about 13, 14. In the pair of them, to be fair. I mean, who would even come out of that? Let alone in polite society. Even if you thought it in your head, who'd repeat it? I mean, some of the circles we move in, if you said something like that, they'd never talk to you again, would they? But no, if you're in the echelons, you can come out with this waffle, and apparently it's authentic and classy.
It felt like a betrayal of the very narrative she's working so hard to craft.
Right?
I mean, I think Diana's death remains one of the most heartbreaking and symbolic moments in modern royal history.
Yep.
Linking that memory,
everyone
whether
loved
intentionally or accidentally.
Everyone loved Diana. Everyone loved Diana. Now, what could be the polar opposite of the Marklet in polls, in, popularity? Yeah, it's complete polar opposite. I don't know why she keeps trying to tag herself onto the Diana legacy. Apart from the fact that she's, well, let's have it right. She's done one of his sons, allegedly, in my opinion. I mean, I don't know. Thankfully, I don't know.
To a commercial product, especially one tied to alcohol, feels like a profound misjudgment. There are 363 other days to
Napa
launch
Valley.
A wine or an alcohol.
Oh, it's come from Napa Valley. Do you remember that sitcom? No, soap opera that used to be something to do with... no one watched it, but they brought it over. I think it was in the 80s from America. It's called something or other. Anyway, it was like Dallas, but for a wine-growing family in Napa Valley. And all the family, it was ruled by the matriarch. And they were always trying to get in, one of them. Like, as I say, like Dallas, where there's some old person and all the rest of the family are vying and jockeying for position. Can't remember what it was called, but it was a load of nonsense. Anyway, so Napa Valley produces some... I bet that would taste like bloody mouthwash as well.
Brand,
I bet you it will.
Choosing this one, even if unintentional, speaks volumes.
Doesn't she need a licence to be a vintner, whatever they call them? Somebody that makes wine, whatever they call winemaking personage. Maybe in America they don't. Maybe just anybody can rock up. Probably she'd be making it like moonshine in the back garden. She'd probably have one of those bloody gin things, won't she? Jennies. You know what they put them in? The gins. Let's hope it don't explode.
And I repeat the story not because I do not agree with the narrative that Harry and Meghan have tried to build around Prince William. Angry, broke a dog bowl, broke a necklace.
Rubbish.
Can't control himself. He's just such a terrible person.
Well, that's nonsense because all brothers fight, don't they? All brothers scrapping would be normal. And I would say that he would have said or done something that infuriated William because he seems, if anything, dare I say, somewhat retentive. Though he has noticeably, like I've said before, loosened up since he's been married to the wonderful Princess of Wales. So I would have thought it's take away the royal business. So this old broad's married into the family and it's just knocked everything into a cocktail, hasn't it, really? It's caused a load of ructions. Because we're going back, the dog bowl incident was before Brexit, wasn't it? Broke his bleeding old bracelet, and then you think, oh dear. Well, I didn't even think that. I laughed. I thought it was funny. Because why are you telling me this? I don't care. And it turned out to be one of those stupid old knotted things with the beads on that people make up nowadays. Is it supposed to mean something? Love and loyalty or bullshit? You know what I mean? One of them. So it wasn't like a Cartier or anything nobody cared about. And broke the dog's bowl. And I did think to myself at the time, well, what's she doing eating off the floor to start with? Most people sit at the table and eat. Do you get me? Broke her bowl. Yeah. Pushed him on the floor. What's he doing on the floor? Stupid old malt.
Broken heart that I'm reporting on. I'm reporting on a broken heart. Somebody is still
William.
really emotional surrounding the death of his mother.
Yeah.
I think sometimes he talks about
this. Now,
this.
look, William, sorry to interrupt you in your full flow, Kenzie, because obviously you do know a hell of a lot more than me. But I'm looking at this young man here and I'm thinking he might need Auntie Gert to come round to do some cooking for him. Because he's too immaculately svelte for anybody that I could possibly know. Same as Catherine. They're very svelte, aren't they, the pair of them? Beautiful people. Yeah, because, did you know that it puts £10 on you? Unless you're looking at me, yeah, on video or on film that you watch on it. I honestly, I swear to God, it's put on £30 if it's me. I'm a lot more thinner in real life. But if you believe that, you'll believe anything. But anyway, so these two, they are, aren't they? He's very svelte. The children are as well. No childhood obesity going on in the royal family, I'll have you know. No.
When he's talking to children at these centres that have been built specifically for grieving children.
Yeah. Hello.
I don't think he's a tyrant. I think he's a nice person.
Of course he's not a bloody tyrant.
And ultimately, I do want to stress that the
royals... If you want to know who the tyrant is... Sorry, Kinsey. We know who the tyrant is. The tyrant is the one that escalated all this nonsense. You married into the family, you'd make an effort to get on, wouldn't you? And even if you don't like your sister-in-law, you'd grin, wouldn't you? Bear it. And you tried to put calm things on the water. You wouldn't ratchet up and escalate it and start shouting at bridesmaids and doing this, that and the other and being a right pain in the bleeding bum. And then convincing him, old Baldy Barry, to leave and we're going to be just Harry from now on, we're going to have private lives. And we've never heard anything more unprivate. I mean, they've been everywhere all at once. They're like a dog with two bleeding tails. The pair of them. If they're not in Nigeria, they're in Colombia. She's always got a bloody microphone. If she's not holding something as I said phallic, it's not a day for her, you know. It's not.
Would like for these two to have some success so that they will lay off of them.
Right.
So that they will leave them alone. And so that they don't have to worry about Meghan mentioning to the cut that she found an old journal and she didn't sign an NDA. And
yeah, we remember that, Kenzie. We remember. Oh, I clocked that, darling. Oh, I clocked that. That is what you call, in colloquial terms, a veiled threat, isn't it, really? It's a veiled threat. Yeah, just come out and say, oh, I didn't sign an NDA. Listen, love, even if you had, it wouldn't stop you bleeding, flapping your gums and blabbing, would it? You've got no idea about bleeding, I don't know, discretion, which is always the better part of valour. You need to stop. That's what you need to do, love. You need to listen to Auntie Gert.
Whispers and gossip that persist that Meghan could inevitably write a tell-all.
Oh,
they would
God,
love for Meghan to
listen, let her write it. Nobody would believe it. We'd all take it apart, bit by bit, microsecond by microsecond, love. Not you, I'm not calling you love, you're darling. Let her do it. I thought that at the time. Let her bleeding do it. I bleeding dare her. In fact, I double dare her. Give me loads of content. Load of old bleeding hooey. She was only there for something like 70-something days. Somebody counted it up. Hey? How do you... Oh, I know all about this family. This family's been going like for 1,000 years in one way or the other. Bloodline. Well, the bloodline is through Henry VIII's sister Margaret, who married James the third of Scotland. So the bloodline actually is Tudor. And then that went off into James I of England, whose daughter was it Elizabeth of Bohemia? Elizabeth of Bohemia daughter was Sophie. One of her many children was Sophie, the Elector of Hanover, who died just before Queen Anne died. That was what was it called? The something succession, act of succession, to make sure it went down the Protestant line rather than the Catholic line. So yeah, but it wasn't through the men. You see, it was through Margaret and through Elizabeth. So it would have been her great-great-great-granddaughter would have been Elizabeth, who went on to be Elizabeth of Bohemia, who had a child, Sophie of Hanover, who had a son, George Louis, who became George I. Now, if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments whether I'm wrong, but that's the way I remember it. I was there, you know. I was there. Well, you've only got to look at me, you can tell.
Successful lifestyle brand, because in their minds, in their hearts, hopefully that would change Harry and Meghan's entire strategy around how they deal with the royals and stop selling their secrets, which has been the only way they've been able to function so far.
So when you're royal, you don't not wear a bra, love. Have you ever, come on people all over the world, have you ever sort of, in all your years on this planet, seen like the Queen, Margaret, Anne, Diana, any of the royal, what we'd call ladies, real royal ladies, yeah, walking around, who want us to think of them as royal, by the way, I have, you know. Even somebody like Fergie or Princess Michael of Kent, who are kind of like, you know what I mean. But have we ever seen them without a bra on? Never. It's not done, darlings. And all the legs going on all the time. They're all going on. Everybody can see everything. I mean, you know, if the wind blew, God knows what would happen. Anyway, it's not royal. That's it. That's the way it is. If you marry into a royal family, you can imagine marrying into the royal family of, say, Japan. And behaving like that, walking around with no bleeding bra on. Oh, yeah, because they're much more strict. Or say, one of the Malaysian countries. You see? Well, you're not necessarily a king, but you might be something else, like a sheikh or whatever. No, not in Malaysia. But you get what I mean. What are they called over there? I don't know what they're called, but whatever they are, the ladies are always respectable. And dignified and humble, and dare I say, lady bleeding like. Yeah? Oh, not this whole thing. And then you've got the Swedes here, if you heard about that, with the Norway bloke. Look into that. Next king of Norway's son. Yes! Lot of trouble. I don't like to talk out of school, but I'll be listening at the keyholes. You know, like I do when I'm doing my scrubbing. Yes! Look into it. It's the talk of the town in London, you know, at the moment. Amongst the echelons. Yes, he's turned out to be a right little, well, I don't want to say on here, but there's a lot going on. 28 different charges he's been accused of, with all the text messages and evidence. It's not like he can say it didn't happen, you see. In years gone by, they could behave like that, couldn't they? Horribly. Behave horribly to women, and there was no witness, and everybody would close ranks because they're raw. Not nowadays. He's for the high jump. Anyway, I'm off. I've had enough of this. Anyway, yeah, King of Norway. Well, I don't think he's the King of Norway yet. So it's the King of Norway's son. So the Prince of Wales, de facto, if it was Britain, son. Yes, in Norway. Obviously, he's not the Prince of Wales though. I don't know what he is. But he's going to be the next king, and his son's a right rotten little scoundrel. Go and have a look. Honestly, it made your hair curl. So there we go. I'm going to go. Anyway, he hasn't been found guilty, but he's looking dodgy. You know what I mean? There's no smoke without fire, and with him, it's not even a fire. It's a bloody conflagration with one of them. It is. It's outrageous. It's going out of control. I don't know why I'm getting so excited. Anyway, wherever you are in the world, have a lovely whatever time it is, morning, afternoon, evening, good night, and I'll catch you again soon. King of Norway's son. Next King of Norway's son. So it's the King's son. Yeah, this is it. I forgot. King of Norway's grandson. There you go. I've made it. Bye-bye now.